Question for our panelists or anyone in the audience who is brave to answer this question. What can we do and what must we do to find 12,000 additional Iowans to become direct care workers?
For one thing, I think we need to go figure out a way not to have our budgets cut, so where we have to get rid of staffing. That's the staff that we have are good and they're there and they don't get paid a lot. But we need to make it aware that budget cuts would be the worst thing that could be done for any facility.
The caregiving component is so foundational to the care that's provided in facilities and in home care and through long-term care and hospital settings that we need to make sure that we're not chipping away at that foundation, because there will be certainly unintended consequences and very negative consequences for the direct care workforce and the people who are there caring for. Absolutely. Thank you.
I also want to add to that as what's your name, Richard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about, you know, consistency of care. It also will help with the quality of care. Having that same direct care worker work with these individuals day after day after day, they become more of their family. They become more familiar with these people. But when you're looking at low wages, you're not going to get that. That's why we have such a high turnover rate.
And Emily certainly underscored that in terms of her relationship with Rachel and the importance of that constancy in caregiving and knowing her needs and being able to anticipate her needs. That doesn't occur when you have a different caregiver every day or every shift. Absolutely.
Yes, I might take a shot at answering that question too. I'm John Hale. I do some policy work with the Iowa Caregivers Association, and I think the question about 12,000 is really the fundamental question to ask. Lieutenant Governor Reynolds has referred to that. Representative Heddens has referred to that. And one of the things that comes to mind to me in thinking about possible answers to that question is just to reinforce what I heard Representative Heddens say earlier, that in part of the solution, I think, to this challenge is to start to change the way we think about direct care work and direct care workers. And I don't want to be critical of anyone in this room, but I think the reality is that we as a state, we as a nation, have for far too long and far too often been willing to think of direct care workers as entry-level people, as low-skilled, as readily replaceable, as things that don't automatically encourage people to look at this job as a career. So I think one of the things we really need to do, and I think this is something that we can do, is work with state department heads, legislators, the governor's office, to create a massive educational program for Iowans, so that Iowans will come to better understand who direct care workers are, who all of you are, and how important the work is. I mean, I think we've got two great examples here today with Representative Heddens and Lieutenant Governor Reynolds, and I can certainly say the same thing. My eyes have been opened to this work as I've come in contact with all of you. Representative Heddens' eyes were opened as she came in contact with the work that you folks do. The same with Lieutenant Governor Reynolds, and I think we simply have to expand that message throughout the state so that every Iowan understands that 12,000 workers is not just an interesting figure, but it's something that has a lot of direct relevance to their lives, either now or down the road somewhere. So I think part of it is just an image. It's a messaging issue that I think we can do and we should do.